is Man Chow. You can call me Kenneth Chow. Both Kenneth and Man are in my name. This is my quantum gravity video 30. I've already, before this one, I've already taken 29 videos on quantum gravity. And this one is I intend to be a summary because otherwise the various quantum gravity videos might be thought to be unconnected bits and pieces. But now this I summarize it so that you can see that it's a connected whole. First, we have the gist of this, the theory of quantum gravity, of my quantum gravity, of course. Is the A1, there is a quantum black hole of Planck mass and Planck length radius at the center of each hydrogen atom. The hydrogen atom includes neutrons. When the electron of quantum radius 3.86 times 10 to the power minus 13 meters, this is the electron quantum radius, has been compressed into the proton by gravity. And the quantum radius of the hydrogen atom nucleus, that is to say the proton, is 0.2103 times 10 to the power minus 15 meters. And that of the neutron is 0.21 times 10 to the power minus 15. That's 0.0003 less than the that of proton. It's just below the proton radius. And what about the formation? How was the Planck black hole formed? That is by gravity, as I said. When ultra low frequency but ultra long wavelength and near absolute zero temperature radio waves could not resist the pressure of gravity, and it contracts into the Planck black holes of 1.616 times 10 to the power minus 35 meters of quantum radius. And with its outer shape and topology of up to 10 to the power minus 10 meters, that's the angstrom, 1 angstrom. Quantum radius, that's about 1/10 of a nanometer. In the same process, that is to say, the Planck black holes and the hydrogen atom are formed at the same time. And this is identified, this concept where this Planck black hole with its outer shape and topology was of 10 to the power minus 10 meter was identified as, by scientists of course, to be a hydrogen atom. That will say element number 1 on the periodic table. And you can see this in my video 16 and video 28. In video 16, actually, I have a detailed mathematical treatment of that. You can see back. Video 16. So, the mathematical treatment is the Rayleigh theorem. And secondly, Oppenheimer-Volkoff equation. First is the Rayleigh theorem. Second is the Oppenheimer-Volkoff equation in my video 16 as a detailed mathematical treatment. And then, because of the pressure due to the value theorem, is compressed into a final product, Gm divided by R. M is the mass, R is the radius, and so is the black hole. And then also, under the Oppenheimer-Volkoff equation, is again the same product. It finally appears, like we say, 3 times 10 to the 3 to the power, or 3 to the pressure, divided by R. Look is the density of mass, is minus c squared. So again, it represents black hole. So yes, detailed mathematical treatment in my video 16. And in my video 28 has only a qualitative treatment, much briefer than the 16. And all such hydrogen atoms, electrons, neutrons, as well as all other particles, later discover there are hundreds of these such particles. They are in fact the de Broglie matter waves of individual specific masses and Compton wavelength radii. Compton radii means Compton wavelength divided by 2 pi. The wavelength is 2 pi radius times radius. So the Compton radius is Compton wavelength divided by 2 pi. The Planck black hole itself is also a de Broglie matter wave of Planck mass and Planck length Compton radius. So all these Planck black holes, as well as all other matter particles, so-called particles, later discovered hundreds of them are actually de Broglie matter waves. The lowest energy, which is called the ground state or vacuum energy of a hydrogen atom, is E energy, represent energy, due to half h bar omega, where h bar is the mass of particle times the Compton radius of the particle times c. C is the light velocity. Actually, all velocity connected with Planck black hole or any other black hole is light velocity, not lower than that. And this is h bar is actually the mass times the radius times the velocity is actually the angular momentum of the particle, which is a constant equal to h bar. Why? Because by the law of conservation of the part of angular momentum, it is h bar is a constant. For example, for the proton, is h bar is equal to 1.6726 times 10 to the power minus 27 kilograms, multiplied by 0.2103 by 10 to the power minus 15 meters times c. 1.6726 times 10 to the power minus 27 kilograms is the mass of proton. As you can find in any table on proton mass. And 0.2103 times 10 to the power minus 15 meter is the Compton radius. You can also find it in any table on Compton wavelength of proton, but you have to divide it by 2 pi. And for the electron, its h bar is also equal to 9.1009 times 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram times 3.86 times 10 to the power minus 13 meter times c. That's 9.109 times 10 to the power minus 31 is the mass of an electron. You can find any table on electron mass. And then 3.86 times 10 to the power minus 13 meter times c is the Compton radius, to the Compton wavelength of the electron, divided by 2 pi. It's 3.86 times 10 to the power minus 13. And if you multiply it by c, again you get h bar. And similarly for all other known particles. And when I've mentioned E is equal to half h bar times omega. Omega is the individual specific frequency of individual particle. Individual particle means the individual de Broglie matter waves. Otherwise, you forget it's a wave, and you wonder why I've got the wavelength of the particle. By the formula, C is equal to wavelength times omega, where wavelength, the Compton wavelength divided by 2 pi is the Compton radius. When this wavelength varies, omega also varies, but can increase or decrease according to the wavelength. And E is equal to half h bar times omega. This has been treated by physicists as a zero or vacuum energy. Why? Because it emits no light, or actually emits infrared radiation which cannot be detected, cannot be seen. And this you can also see in my video 26. Actually, in my video 26, I have a subtopic for dark matter. Is spoken of this matter, this dark matter, which is actually the E is equal to half h bar omega. And therefore, since it emits no light, can detect it, is treated as vacuum energy. But actually, it has the energy half h bar times omega, and therefore it has gravitational effect. So if you have many of them, actually there are many of them. In my video 26, I've spoken of this. You have actually a wall of hydrogen atoms surrounding the solar system, surrounding the Milky Way, and you can analogously think that all other galaxies have such a phenomena, being surrounded by hydrogen atom walls. Now, in the Josephson experiment of 1962, it was found that the lowest frequency, omega, I just talked about omega in the last paragraph. The lowest frequency of omega, which can be detected, might be 2e divided by h. H is the Planck's constant. Is equal to 2 pi h bar. And 2e divided by h is equal to 10 to the power 7 times c, the light velocity, divided by 2 pi. This you can see in my video 27. And it's equal to 4.836 times 10 to the power 14 hertz per volt. Its unit is hertz per volt. If it's a frequency. And the corresponding magnetic flux quantum is H equal to divided by 2e, H divided by 2e, 2 pi H bar divided by 2e is to 2 pi divided by 10 to the power 7 times 10 times the light velocity c. And its numerical value is 2.068 times 10 to the power 15 volt second. All this you can find in my video 27. But in this one, I'm only making a brief summary of all previous videos. On the basis that A1 is true and correct, we have the following equation. What's A1? If you forget, as I just talked about, A1 is that there is a quantum black hole of Planck mass and Planck length radius at the center of each hydrogen atom. And hydrogen atom includes neutrons. I just talked about in the beginning of this video. And the neutrons are formed when the electron of Compton radius 3.86 times 10 to the power minus 13 meter has been compressed into the proton radius 0.01303 times 10 to the power minus 15 meter. This is my theory of Planck black hole. If this is true, then we have the following equations. A. H bar is equal to Planck mass times Planck radius, Planck length times C is equal to m multiplied by our mass times radius times C is called the Planck black hole angular momentum equation, I call it. Why I say Planck mass times Planck length times c is equal to mass times radius times c? Because it's general. This equation is general. It applies not only to Planck mass and Planck length, as I just demonstrated in the last paragraph about the lowest energy, the ground state energy. I've mentioned that this applies both to proton and electron, not only to Planck mass and Planck length radius. And the second one is E squared is equal to 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times Planck length times alpha. Alpha is a fine structural constant, is equal to 1.137 or 7297 times 10 to the power minus 3. It's called a fine structural constant. And it's also, again, it's 10 to the power 7 times mass times radius times alpha, because it applies generally to other particles, all other particles, not just Planck mass and Planck length. And this one I call it the Planck black hole first top equation. First top equation, equation 2. And then we have the E squared is equal to 10 to the power 7 times m Planck mass times c squared times Planck length times alpha. Again, I say it's equal to 10 to the power 7 times mass times radius c squared times radius times alpha. Meaning it's general. It applies general to all particles. I call it the Planck black hole origin of mass equation. Equation 7. Why I call it the origin of mass? Yeah, I have to refer back to video 25 if you have not seen that video. In that video, I saw that actually Richard Feynman, the physicist, renowned physicist, he actually in the 1962 or 1963 he has already made out an equation. The mass of the electron is 2/3 of E squared divided by AC squared. And what is A? A is, he said, is in his Feynman's calculation, he said it's a radius of the surface of a sphere, an imaginary sphere surrounding the electron. And when you compare with the equation, my equation just mentioned, then you find that they're actually substantially the same. The equation I just mentioned is this one. My equation just I mentioned E squared is equal to 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times Planck length times C squared times alpha, Phi structure constant. It's just the same as Richard Feynman's equation, except of course the 2/3 factor in the beginning of Feynman's equation. And in that video 25, I quote Feynman's his observation. He said that the momentum in the field, the electromagnetic momentum, is proportional to U. It is just what we should have for the particle with the mass equal to the coefficient of U, and write it as a mass of electron is equal to 2/3 times E squared divided by AC squared. And then it might be that, in fact, mass is just the effect of electrodynamics. That is what the actual words of Feynman. You can find this in section 28.2 and section 28.3 of his Feynman lectures, volume 2. So he actually is the first one to find that this equation is the origin of mass. It's Richard Feynman. I'm the second. And then now you have another equation, E. I mentioned E squared in the last two equations. Now we have E, only E. E is equal to half 10 to the power 7 times Planck mass times C squared times Planck length. And again, it's equal to half 10 to the power 7 times mass times C squared times radius, because it's general. Again, it's general. The mass is not confined to Planck mass, and the radius is not confined to the Planck radius. And this, I call it the Planck black hole second top equation, equation H. Why second? Because it's only for E. The first equation is for E squared. Look at equation 1, 2, 7, 8. The four equations all apply to all particles. All the particle bracket the Broglie matter waves. Not only to the Planck black holes. This is due to the conservation of angular momentum and energy. They are also, you could wonder that 1, 2, 7, 8. What about 3, 4, 5, 6? Yes, actually, in my videos 19, there are equation 3, equation 4, equation 5, and equation 6. Equation 3 is C is equal to lambda, the wavelength, times the frequency. Equation 4, so E, energy, is equal to h bar multiplied by omega, the frequency. Where the frequency, omega, is equal to C divided by the wavelength, lambda. And equation 5, E, we have E is equal to the Boltzmann constant times T in degree Kelvin. This is actually about the temperature of the black hole. All these are relating to Planck black hole, because why actually it's not, you can say, oh, why it's not, why this equation is not relating to other black holes. Yes, it's relating to other black holes as well, but if we confine velocity only to c, not to any other lower than c velocity, then it's only to the Planck black hole. So you have 3, 4, 5, and equation 6. This one is G, the Newton constant times mass divided by radius is equal to c squared. This one is not exclusive to the Planck black hole, but it applies to all black holes in general. For example, the stellar-sized black holes or the center of galaxies type of black holes, which are much bigger. I mentioned about this in my video, the last video, 29. This cm divided by r is to c squared is not confined to Planck black holes, but also to black holes in general. But there is another equation. Let's call it G is equal to Planck length divided by Planck mass times c squared, which I introduced in my video 2. Video 2 is 4 years ago. It's already I introduced it 4 years ago. And now I call it the Planck black hole Newton constant equation. Equation equation 10. Using equation 2 and equation 9, which is G, the Newton constant is equal to Planck radius divided by Planck mass times c squared. All the strong nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, and the force of gravity, all of them can be reduced to the quantum form of Planck mass divided by Planck length times c squared times integral multiple of Planck mass divided by the integral multiple of Planck length. I call this equation 10. And you can see all the mathematical treatment of in video 5, 13, 14, 15, 19, and 22. No, I omitted. nuclear force, because the weak nuclear force is not actually a force in the sense of the force of attraction or force of repulsion, like for the strong, the electromagnetic or the gravitational forces. It's in fact relating to the decay or transformation from one type of particles into other types, which involve a large number of particles. Hence, many bodies problems with the mathematical chaos set in. Consequently, weak interaction can only be measured and observed statistically. Nevertheless, the underlying forces involved in interactions must still be a strong nuclear force and or the electromagnetic force, which, as shown in equation 10 above, is unified. That is to say, that found and proved to be the same force as gravity. You can see this in my video 5, my video 13, 14, 15, 19, and 22. And lastly, as further support that my theory A1, as a Planck black hole theory, is true and correct. This is the fact that above equations from 1 to 10 are the underlying substructures of all the known universal physical constants. While my video 29, the last video. So I just connect all my previous videos in this brief summary. And I hope you can be satisfied. If you are interested, subscribe and like this. I stop here.